Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Okay, fine. I want us to switch gears now.
But if they scratch me, I may say it.
No, you say it, Ofwono.
You say it.
Yeah, say it.
You can say, Professor is now,
because
is concerned, I don't know whether he's also worried, he's concerned that the incarceration of Besigye may cost NRM Busi.
No, but he explained, you were just...
No, it is not my concern. I cited what the NRM leaders... It is in the paper.
Well, let's get to the second topic.
It is in the papers.
There is a new political culture that's crept into the conversation, the political discourse of the day. And it's about...
And one of the beneficiaries here.
It's about unopposed candidates.
Yes, I wanted to be an MP.
Supporters of candidates who had earlier appended their signatures, now going back to withdraw, claiming these were not their signatures. Is this fraud? Could this be a new culture? How worrisome or pleasant is it? I'll start with you, Prof.
It's, you know, in one of your programs here, the radio program, and we were talking about Ugandan politics, and I said, you know, for one to participate in politics in Uganda these days, one has to be a little stupid. Yes, a little stupid.
Opondo is stupid.
Stupid many times.
He says this time.
Yeah, he's very stupid. Are we on air?
So yes, we are on air, sir.
No, personally, I don't think so.
Asked Professor.
No, it's Professor. Professor is still on the floor.
So
this unopposed candidate now is unsettled.
when you see...
I don't know if he's giving a run.
Because
good in a democracy.
Like I said before we came on air, if somebody is so good to that community, the community would put all potential contestants against him down and say that Opondo is such a good guy, please allow him to go and represent us. We don't need to fight. The rest of you wait for your time. Let him go. If he fails us, we'll pick another person. Then you'll get unopposed people coming. But there are two clear phenomena. One, these special interest groups, you even see that the parties who are not NRM, they never field candidates. Because you know that the machinery involved in that process. Even if you were as good as, I don't know what, if you're not NRM, they will make sure you never win. So, not to waste your resources and time, and not even to validate what happens even more. The parties in opposition are not fielding candidates. Now, the other one, which is a phenomenon, issues where somebody says, no, I was convinced by my family to step down. And yet the earlier stories would be different. Or you see the situation where the issue of signature, oh, this is not my signature. Or this one, the UNEP has withdrawn. Can you imagine? Oh man, this country is in trouble.
Thank you. Council, is NRM trying to manipulate the legal framework to introduce a new political culture?
Yes, and it's very devastating, and it's yet to start actually. because if 10, 20 people try it in 2026, definitely 2031 we expect 100 to 200 people trying it.
Where are we? I think it's close to 15.
And they are going to announce another set next week.
Yes, but my issue in all this is that the Electoral Commission is not doing enough. Why we say they're not doing enough is, I'll stick mostly to the issue of signatures. If someone comes out and says, that's not my signature, or I did not sign, to me that is fraud. So Electoral Commission should not treat it lightly by having a tribunal sit down and then have a discussion on that issue and then denominate someone who has already been nominated. By the time,
What if the EC is part of the conspiracy?
and that's why I say they are not helping us as the EC. But of course, we come from a situation where we don't have institutions that are working. So even the EC is captured. I would love to look at a situation where someone comes out and alleges that that's not their signature, or their signature is forged, and then that is verified. Not the EC sitting down because I've alleged I did not sign, and then take off one signature, and then the candidate is no longer legally nominated. And to me, EC could still do better in that situation, because at the point you're hearing this petition, someone has the 10 signatures already that you required, and you verified before nominating them.
I want to refer to the legal maxim of what is not forbidden in the law is allowed. The law is silent about this. So,
Not silent, no.
No, the law is silent on the issue of what happens if one withdraws their signature.
No.
The law is very silent on that.
No,
And
it's not silent. My friend, my young brother, Bishawanda, you are not speaking like a lawyer. At least maybe you don't focus on election law. You wouldn't be speaking like that. Even me, a layman, having gone through. But you complete, I will let you know.
No, you not withdraw your signature.
You can.
No. Once the nomination process is complete, it is complete.
Which section of the law is that?
You can only
which section of the law? I'm asking you, you made the law. Which section of the law says somebody can't withdraw their signature? Which one?
After nomination?
Which one? Which section of the law you made the law?
Where is it provided in the law?
You made the law. Professor,
where is it provided?
The professor, you made the law.
Where is it provided that you can withdraw? The nomination process is finished.
You see, it will be different if these issues come up before nomination.
Yes.
But before nomination, I don't know the signatures. The people have nominated you.
But after nomination, the EC should take every allegation with a pinch of salt. You cannot claim that my signature was forged, that my name was forged. Because if your signature is forged, then you didn't give out your name. So probably there's a data privacy issue again. And that's what I'm saying. That is an issue of fraud, where the Electoral Commission should actually treat with the highest degree of proof.
In the case of the presidential candidates, you remember they delayed sanctioning the nomination of Chagulanyi and someone else, and they said they were calling these people individually.
So the same
to verify.
Yes.
Yes,
Now when it comes to these NRM MPs who are going through an opposite,
They did not call.
I can see secondary ignorance on this show. There's something we call secondary ignorance. Primary ignorance is the inability not to know how to write and read. That's primary ignorance. But there's secondary ignorance, inability to know that what you know is not the whole truth, or even to admit that you don't know certain things. But let me give you...
You're part of the scheme, of course. You came out unopposed.
First of all,
You emerged.
Yeah, first of all, the unopposed is not a new phenomenon in Uganda's politics. In the current parliament, 6 members of parliament were returned unopposed.
you are suffering from secondary ignorance.
Because
we are talking about people who are
withdrawing. I'm now telling you,
and becoming unopposed after the process.
Because you said
Secondary ignorance.
No, because you are claiming that unopposed is a new trend.
No, I'm talking about this particular one.
In this parliament, we have 6 people. But those I remember quickly, the gentleman MP for in Chikube, and Javira somewhere in
Ofwono
Chotara.
Opondo has set his own question.
So,
we are talking
these
about people
yes,
who are
I am
withdrawing.
withdrawal of
And candidates have been nominated.
I'm first of all decanting our moderators' view that this is a new phenomenon.
Yes.
Probably what is the new? What is the new?
Declaring signatures
What is the
illegal.
new? What is the new?
Yes.
Maybe after 2 weeks. Why are people?
1 month.
Why are people complaining that their signatures, the signatures appended for candidates
That
are not
exactly
there?
is what
now,
I was asking.
Let me give you what the law first of all provides. The law provides that after nomination, or even during the nomination, a registered voter can come and request to inspect the document a candidate has submitted. It is at that point that mostly your rivals will come to look through, because their names, their names and telephone numbers and the villages where you come from. This is what I have found, even as a first participant in direct elective politics. There are cases where people simply sit. Because they have access to the register, they then copy your name, they write your number, they write the village, and they put any signature.
Why is it favoring NRA?
I don't know why.
Names are available on EC?
Yes.
People's
yes.
names are available?
Yes, yes. When you patch your name, when the EC patches, yes.
People's names are available on EC that I can go on EC website right now and get someone's name.
Yes, if you go to check the register, I'm telling you, if you go to check the voters register, the voters register
does not have the
Doesn't
name.
have the name.
Where's my phone? My phone is charging. I can give you, in my case, the voters register.
Can I lend you my?
No, because
No, I can lend you my phone.
No,
because
I'm saying
Actually,
my phone.
in
In my phone, I have the voters register of the older persons, and I can tell you, all of them, all of us, the 280 of
with the names.
Yes, with the names.
Actually,
That's irregular.
that is an abuse of data privacy.
I am telling you what we have.
How did you get it?
What?
That register.
The law allows,
With the names.
the law allows a candidate, a registered voter, to access the voters register. I am telling you, the voters register of older persons.
With the names.
Yes. No. Yes. So in that case, somebody can sit, in fact, with the name and your telephone number.
Somebody, is this true?
Yes.
No.
I am telling you. So I'm giving you my case.
Okay, let him conclude.
I'm giving you my case. So you can sit with the voters register, call this person and say, Ogenga Latigo Ovagago. His telephone number is there. And then I can ask him, did you sign for candidate so and so? If he's honest, he will say, yes, I did. And then, or if he's not, we'll say, no, I don't know that candidate. I have never signed for that candidate.
How do you access that register again?
And yes, and secondly, when you inspect the nomination papers, the official agent writes their name, writes their telephone number.
That's absolutely okay.
How is there
at nomination?
No, this is what I'm telling you. So yes. when a candidate or a voter asks for the details, you actually pay 20,000, and they give you certified copy.
Okay.
They give certified copy of what a candidate has submitted. They give you the whole file, the whole pack of documents, and then you can now go and call these supporters because their name is there, their telephone number is there. Secondly, when a candidate complains, you don't just complain by word of mouth. At least in my case, and the other cases I've been privy to, we actually come to you, the lawyers. These people who allege that those signatures are not theirs actually say affidavits with you, the lawyers. And sometimes in my case, they asked, and I've seen Honorable Kakoza and others, you actually carry the physical human beings to the tribunal. And it is on the assessment of the tribunal if they want to ask them questions. But usually it is the lawyers who talk. But they swear affidavits. So it is true. Once I'm given the forms.
It's swearing affidavits. Even the SFC and you police swear affidavits. They don't have the Kenyans.
Well, I don't know the lawyer you are. I'm sure you're a commissioner of oath. People come to swear affidavits.
But they can lie.
Well, that's now the mistake of you, the
government
lawyer.
just lied recently.
I'm saying you.
Yes.
If you're a lawyer and I come to you and you take me through the oath swearing and you have not tested whether what I'm telling you is true or not, then you're not a good lawyer. I may hesitate to come to you. But I'm giving you this information that Once I am given the certified copies of a candidate, all that information is there. And in our case, the voters register for other persons, we access it through the Electoral Commission, and you are given the entire thing. So all that information is there.
Thank you. Honorable Semuju, what is central here?
Wait a minute. You see, for him to be a candidate, it is his party that goes through primary. Now, to get that information from Electoral Commission, when it is NRM primary,
Which one?
how is it possible?
Well, first of all, the NRM have our voters register of NRM. Once I have gone through, now I'm the NRM flag bearer. I can walk to the Electoral Commission and ask for the voters register. And I'm telling you, in my case, I asked and I was given. In fact, I asked, they gave me the printed one, and then they forwarded to me the electronic.
But who are your voters?
With the names, eh?
Who are your voters? Because your voters are every person who votes in the geographical area that you represent.
Yes.
So what voter register are you talking about?
No. That's why I'm saying the secondary ignorance. Honorable, let it go.
No.
Honorable,
Yes, how?
Honorable, let it go. Let me tell you this. What the Electoral Commission does, like in our case, in order to be eligible as a voter in the older persons, first of all, you must register with the Electoral Commission. Secondly, they now remove all the people who are 60 years and above, and they create another register. So are for the youth. So are for the PWD. That's what is done.
Thank you.
So I go and ask for
that is
the
not
vote,
true.
That is not
true.
Other persons.
The youth, everybody votes for them. The women, everybody votes for them.
You don't know.
No,
There's an electoral college.
It is
There's-
on. Yes.
Okay, let's listen to.
There's an electoral college. Even the youth, women for the district, everybody votes for them. But for the youth, there's an electoral college. These people, they elect the youth leaders at the sub-counties. And then the youth leaders at the district level.
Yes.
Both of them, of the youth council, and then the youth representative in the district council.
Thank you.
In the case of the
Honorable
youth,
Semuju.
if you don't know.
Honorable Semuju. Honorable Semuju, what's the deeper story here? We're looking at NRM celebrating this.
Yeah, today we are having 13. Yeah. 13
You see,
unopposed.
before I go to that, because Opondo is my brother, so I am constrained discussing the processes that has made him an MP elected. I don't know, I did not monitor Eastern Uganda,
Is it fraudulent?
but I know here there were no elections for the special interest groups. There were no elections. NRM registrar were just writing in the village where I stay, a neighboring village. The old people were not interested. I am the one who mobilized them. So the ones who were present were all in the PFF. But there were no electoral officials at all. For the case of youth, they came, fired tear gas, and started registering NRM. So NRM has created a number of schemes to sneak people into parliament. You have the military. The military, you begin, in the past, they would begin by chief of personnel, chief of CMI, and administration and something. They generate a list for, listen to me, Ofwono. You're talking about I'm talking about the final list. He would send a list of about 40 to 7. He would reduce it to 7 himself to 15. Then he goes with that list to the Army Council. In the past, he would say, I have this Waze, you must elect them. Because of their contribution to the struggle, then he would mention Sare, Tinyefuza, Tumwine, and everybody. One military...
Salah has never been a UPDF MP.
He was.
It was his story.
Opondo, you're going to embarrass yourself.
He was ex-official.
He was an MP for UPDF, Opondo. In the
Secondary ignorance.
this one is primary. Salim Sare was in parliament as a UPDF representative together with Tumwine and Tinyefuza, the group that came with Kano Bogere and Kano Kayanja. That time he was one of the 10. I was in Parliament as a reporter. So if you don't remember now, I am helping you. Yeah. But that day when Museveni went to the Army Council, he said, this was you must bring them. He had even sneaked in Njuba's wife as a soldier.
Njuba's wife is a major.
She's not.
That time she was a captain.
She's not. They are like Mukwaya, just the honorary. They are not like Chigongo. But anyway, don't take me into that. So the point is they have...
Here is a record.
Yes.
Salim Saleh is a retired Ugandan military officer who served in the UPDF. He's a brother. Well, I'll find it.
He was an MP, without doubt. He was.
I'm a representative in the 7th Parliament.
Yes.
2001 to 2003. He
was. So there's no argument there. He was an MP.
By being a minister of state?
No. He was
I'm a representative.
Yes. He was representing UPDF. And he came for
microfinance.
Anyway,
but the point for me I'm making...
Every MP, whether it's official or not, swears in. So swearing in doesn't matter.
Anyway, for me, the issue is that Museveni begins with 10 army MPs that he participates in choosing. Then he sneaks in 2 groups, like the one of Opondo. The first cheat is...
you passed the law. You passed that law.
Not for him to cheat.
No, you passed that law.
But can't you allow me to develop the point?
No,
so after that,
if you are vulgarizing it,
the point that you are bringing, that Opondo does not want to debate, is that
is he a beneficiary?
You now have, at least his case is a bit, it's not as bad as others. And Opondo, I don't think he has powers to remove people. And I cannot accuse him that he participated in removing. He may have discovered that there are problems that he sought to benefit from.
The other DP guy.
But there are others who are deliberately removing people. People go out crying that they have removed me, I have no option. And I am telling you, next week they are going to be announcing another set. Because cases are still
So is
there.
it choreographed?
You are dealing with a system that has broken down completely. These mafias, the new warlords, political roads we have in Uganda.
In one part, he praises me. He even supported me
I have told you, Ofwono Opondo, that I have told you, Ofwono Opondo, you will be a very good MP, and I'm not going to change that. You should never have, and I don't want to blame you.
I should never have belonged to NRM.
No, I am not going to blame you for benefiting from, because you don't participate in cheating at a village and the parish and so on. Because you came at the tail end. The system had cheated everything, and you presented yourself to benefit from. So the point, you are diverting me, Ofwono Opondo. You are going to be seeing, I don't know when it will stop, MPs being removed, either PFF or no, that people have denominated you, or you brought a wrong receipt, or you brought this. So they have developed technicalities.
Is EC complicit in this?
It is. So the Electoral Commission in the past, it would even be very, very difficult for anyone to walk there and move the Electoral Commission to do the things they are doing today. Yeah. It would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Because they also have some credibility, at least as individuals, that they will want to keep. But today, almost every NRM person who walks in with a complaint, he returns unopposed. And Ofwono Opondo is celebrating their 13. No. I have told you next week you will see another group being declared because they are...
What is the motivation?
NRM MPs, most of the MPs by their nature are selfish. That's why we are adding ourselves 2 years to make it 7. You had others who are telling Museveni that since you want that since you want to be unopposed in the NRM process, also declare us unopposed before we change the constitution. So majority of us MPs are selfish. But for me, you can only deal with that selfishness if you have institutions that are working. But the institutions have completely broken down. So the mafias, one by one, have taken advantage of the collapse of the institutions, and they don't even want to be inconvenienced with the elections.
Do you appreciate there is a loophole in the legal framework?
There is no loophole. The point Ofwono Opondo made, let me help him and others.
No, there's a loophole actually.
Let me help Ofwono Opondo and others. Statutory, presidential candidates are issued with a register after nomination that doesn't have details including photos. That's by law. After Electoral Commission has announced the date for elections and so on and so forth, then they issue you with a final register. So Electoral Commission, an individual can go to Electoral Commission and require and request for a register. You pay, you go and pay money to government, but the registers at this stage, even the final registers, do not have any numbers. In the case of NRM, because sometimes the Electoral Commission works as if they are a department of NRM, Opondo can casually walk there and return with a register. But in my case, I have in the past gone to Electoral Commission, issued with the pay slips. I have paid 4 million to access a register for my constituency. So it is not a walking in. It is only Opondo who can walk in and return with a register. But that register, the one of today, simply has names and where people are voting from. It doesn't have these details. And the Electoral Commission, even when you're nominating, they don't give you a register. You go around and suffer and look for people to nominate you.
Or can I
and then you
excuse you go and pick your phone just to show us?
Show what?
To show us a register with NIN.
It is not there.
The register of special interest.
It is not there.
Because, yes, because
Stamped by the Electoral Commission.
Yes, because you must go and look for these.
But the name
members
is
of the Electoral College. Yes.
Opondo. I was nominated.
Oh,
by,
I'll allow you to go and pick
my
that
nomination
register.
papers were submitted by 10 people.
Since we are skeptics, there's no point for me to waste my time.
My nomination papers were endorsed by.
You are lazy bones. You don't bother.
By 10 people.
The reason they give you the voters, the law allows you to have the voters register, is to inspect in full the detail of the names.
For you to cure our skepticism.
Let's say people.
Show us that register, please.
Let us help people who are watching this show. When you nominate as a candidate, your papers can be inspected, but they are not accompanied by a register.
No. But let me ask you: when you register, your supporters, don't they put their signatures? Don't they put their names?
We're talking about a register.
No. I'm now asking you. So when I ask for your forms,
this newcomer
and I get
is failing to distinguish between nomination papers and a register.
Your argument
That's
was,
what is disturbing him.
Your argument was
you are one-way switches. I'm telling you that in our case, the older persons and I believe special interest group, the youths, PWD and workers, they have a separate register by the Electoral Commission.
There is no separate register. Let me teach you. What the Electoral Commission does, they will have the same register, remove people.
But that's what I'm saying. They extract for you.
Yeah, but they don't,
in our case,
they don't add you details. The details remain the same. They just remove names.
I am telling you.
So in your case, they have given you what they don't
will
give
you
others.
cure our ignorance on this by bringing us that register?
It's both ignorance.
His phone has gone missing.
And unhelpful skepticism. Because
but,
you're so full of yourself, you don't want to admit. The reason they give you voters register,
for me,
you inspect to the
for me, I want to benefit.
Because otherwise, how will you know if this Opondo is the one who talks on the radio?
I want to benefit from Ofwono Opondo.
What are you talking about?
I want to benefit from Ofwono Opondo. Not an MP elect. But someone who has become unopposed through this process that is causing us problems. In his case, can he tell us what happened?
In my case, this person actually happens to be NRM. He's the NRM General Secretary for Older Persons League in the NRM in Kasodo Sub-County. No,
let him complete.
Please wait.
Because this case is different.
This person happens to be the General Secretary of NRM Elders League in Kasodo Sub-County. However, his young brother is the DP chairman of Palisa and also the DP coordinator in Bukedi, Bigger Bukedi sub-region. So when they heard that DP was giving its parliamentary candidates 30 million, the two connived. This DP man told his brother, you go and pick forms for nomination, DP will pay for you 3 million, and DP will give you 30 million for campaigns. They wanted to share this money. This man knew he didn't have anything. So what did he do? After DP paid for him actually the 3 million. And then he came to me. He sent somebody, came to me, said, now DP has given me, can you give me 100 million? And I withdraw. I had not heard about him at all. I mean, somebody at sub-county, I couldn't have heard him. So when I inspected his forms now, I discovered that people who had been saying they are my supporters are the ones who had nominated for him. The chairman of Soroti City, the chairman of Soroti, the rural one, the chairman of Butebo and his committee, and then the chairperson and two others in Kalilu. So I called them one by one and said, hey, you have been telling me you are my supporters. What happened? Then they said, we have never even heard about that man. So when
They withdrew their signatures.
Yes, when this happened, I said, they want to take the man to court. I said, no, taking the man to court is going to, that's a state matter. I asked them, are you sure you didn't sign for him? Can you therefore come and sign up? They said yes. They boarded the buses and taxis at night. They came. I reached out to my brother Mao and Siranda, and both of them said, we also don't know this man. When we were told we have a candidate from Paris, we are kind of surprised. And they said, let us handle this matter amicably. They compelled the man, the DP, compelled the man to refund the 3 million. The man pleaded, he said, and I'm not the man, don't take me to police. So he wrote, he was a fraudster. Yeah.
It sounds too good to believe, but let's take a very short break. I know it affects you, but
no.
we can't help it.
Me, really, I'm past you having misgiving, but I know
his
but I
story
know
was
you are one of my supporters.
We are actually trying to digest the kind of story. It sounds like a movie.
No, but also remember
It's well scripted.
By there are people looking for money in these politics. For me, I don't even rule out. Many of our people don't take care in detail. When you take your forms for somebody to sign, rarely will you bother to ask the person whether that is the actual signature.
Thank you. Prof, call it political mischief or anything. NRM has outsmarted the opposition.
By cheating.
Have we cheated?
I'm not sure they've cheated. While it looks like some kind of fraud. But
In the case of Opondo, he has told you, after this, he even he reached out to his brother Mao and his brother Siranda, and they talked about it, and then he removed the candidate. So I know another case where someone accused of forgery is still in prison. The one of Opondo is at home.
No.
So yeah, these cases are...
It's not my job to take people to prison.
Okay, fine. Let's give Prof chance.
What you went through is what for me is very interesting. It is not as bad as others.
No.
But I know others who have removed the people forcefully.
Okay. Prof, with this trend
At least for
continuing,
you to talk to your brother Mao and
is
Siranda.
opposition
The others have
headed
forcefully
for
removed them.
tough times?
No,
There is a shift in politics now.
opposition has all along been in tough times.
It can only get tougher.
And of course, I don't like to say opposition, because you can say opposition and you'll find DP in government, UPC, the president's wife is in government. So this thing about opposition doesn't help. But in my times in FDC, we had tough times, because government did everything to make sure we would not win.
But this is a smart maneuver.
Well,
you agree it is smart.
You see,
don't
you see, the smartness of a thief has very little value. The smartness of an inventor has a sustained common value. And that is the problem. And this is where I urge the NRM. When you do things and you think that doing it for NRM is the right thing, whether others get hurt, you're not doing it for Uganda and for Ugandans. My politics is about Uganda and Ugandans. I cannot harm Semuju simply because I don't agree with him. I will disagree with him and find a point of disagreement where we stop. At some point, when I think there's an opportunity to agree or to reconcile, I will talk. And this is what this has been my message to President Museveni. if you are the national father that you are in age and in your position as president, you cannot be conflicting with young people. Put them down, talk to them, let them understand why you are doing what you are doing. And where they have complaints, you also appreciate why they think this is not right and should be done differently. If we did that, this country has the potential to generate miracles in terms of progress.
Like Honorable Semoju said earlier, where we are, by next week we are likely to see another set of MPs turning out unopposed.
Yeah.
In parliamentary terms, what does this mean?
Well, even, I mean, right now, even in this parliament, the NRM, even in the previous parliament where I was, the NRM already had an absolute majority. Was it yesterday or yesterday, but when the president was castigating Mafabi and Chagulani and said, you people were in parliament and you did nothing. The same president some years ago said, as long as they can, they wake up and vote, they can sleep. If you let parliament as an institution work within the framework of the constitution and the laws of this country, when they say this is wrong to you, they're helping you. Because when you do the good things, I mean, we would not be debating anything here if the kind of progress we see in Ethiopia was here.
Here it is both, not development, but also in prison without trial.
No. So what's wrong with the president challenging unity? Who was in the law? What did you do for Agagwe? What's wrong with that? And you also say challenging and you say 40 years.
Have you ever heard him challenge me?
Oh, what is there?
What I've done for Agago?
Yeah.
You want to reduce this national debate to Agago?
Well, thank you. Council, I want to get to you. While we agree that legally there is no offense, no one is offended by this phenomenon, do you think there is need to tighten the rules?
Yes, there may be a need to tighten the rules, but also probably the Electoral Commission may need a refresher course because I believe they do not understand what they are doing today as it stands. The rules may need to be tightened or may be updated to also allow, in a situation where one supporter comes and says, I did not sign, or I'm withdrawing my signature, then the cabinet should have an opportunity to replace that signature, since they were already nominated. The era of EC should not be visited on the candidate and the general population that is waiting to cast their vote. Why I say an error on EC is that EC is presented with documents. Ideally, they should verify that information at that point, even before nominating. Maybe what they could be doing is probably enlarging the time within which they do nominations for parliamentary elections. Instead of having 2 days, they can do 5 days.
They even had a pre-nomination exercise.
Check. You take your papers.
They were checking for money if you have paid. So the EC cannot focus on checking if you have paid and then don't focus on whether the signatures are forged or not. You can see. They were pre-nomination and even issue the certificate of pre-nomination that they have gone through your papers. You just come for the formal ceremony. So people whose signatures are now alleged to be forged, I am very sure they are not.
Forgery is a criminal matter. The Electoral Commission cannot make a decision on that.
Yes.
Forgery is a criminal matter.
Well,
And even the requirement to prove forgery
Yes.
is high.
the Electoral Commission, I'm sure, has a
No.
Quasi powers.
No.
Yes, they try
No.
to. But also, the Electoral Commission has lawyers of high repute, I think even higher than my...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter
So-
that such matters are resolved by court, not by
Well,
having lawyers.
You made the law, Professor Genga, that some issues will be resolved
No.
by the tribunal,
Yeah.
by the tribunal of the electoral commission. You made the law.
Not criminal matters.
No, you made the law.
Not the issues of forgery.
You made the law. You made the law. You made the law. I don't think a justice of Court of Appeal, Honorable Okwabya, and others, and their own legal team, are as deft as you want to present them.
Oh.
In any case, their decision, I think, is challengeable in the High Court.
Do you know how brave it sounds when a
supposing-
candidate is ejected from the race?
Supposing a candidate says, leave alone the supporters who have signed, supposing a candidate comes and says, I've lost interest in running.
If you're a candidate of a political party, you can't get out.
No, you can get out if your party accepts.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but would my party insist after I've said
Yes.
I'm going to sit
You
home?
remember what happened in Karamoja?
Where?
We nominated a candidate. The next thing we saw her at Harare with Museveni. We told her you will not get out, and she stayed there.
How did it help you now? So,
It's
but
been-
anyway,
No, at least they would be
I
respecting
agree.
the law.
The only area I agree with the Mr. Wanda, is to say, like this time we had the pre, all those other things should be attended to. Don't just check that the person has paid the fees. Don't just use the name that the person, because I think they were mainly focusing on 3 areas: the papers for academic qualification, if you have paid the nomination fees, and then if you are a registered voter by the Electoral Commission, because they would enter in your name, and then on the screen, your status would appear. I think that's why they concentrated.
Honorable Semuju.
And I don't think they went into verification of signatures or even villages, because when you're nominating, you even indicate your village of voting.
But if they need to go into that verification,
No, I'm saying they are
See,
probably...
Njala,
Honorable
Just the
Semuju,
height.
yes.
Njala, the country is taking a turn for the worst.
That's what you would want.
I have told you, I have participated as a party and as an MP in the special interest groups elections before. I presented the youth. Even where there were problems, the Electoral Commission would announce a day and they return and conduct the election. This particular season of election, in my constituency and in many other constituencies in Uganda, at least in Uganda here, special interest group elections did not take place. You saw, you were the ones broadcasting news. Either the registrars went hiding, you go to present the candidates, and then they tell you NRM youth have gone through unopposed. In the village where I stay, and the polling station is not very far from my home, the PFF candidate was winning with the first position of the chairperson. They brought tear gas, picked the registrar, who is also the NRM registrar, drove him to police, and then feed the rest of the position. That is the process that leads to election of youth MPs. In the case of the old people, I have told you, I go to Namatawa, Ichirinya, I have mobilized the old people because they also have less interest in this exercise. You have to persuade them. Since morning they are there, the registrars are not there. The following day we hear that NRM candidates who never even came to the polling station went through unopposed. At that time we may have ignored it as a country because these special interest groups don't directly bring an MP. So an MP doesn't become unopposed until much later, like in the case of Ofwono. It is not at the beginning of the exercise. But that particular vice had started. So after that, cheating all the special interest groups, now the other MPs, direct elected MPs started. So they come, if they give you money and you are not, then they go and buy people who have nominated you. Because for you, an MP, if you are stupid, you are going to ask for more. Then they come to the 10 that endorsed your documents. Those ones, people are vulnerable. They want to pay school fees, even 1 million. Then they write to the Electoral Commission that my signature was forged. I am not the one, but it is happening much, much later. So the Electoral Commission, I went to Wakiso, submitted my nomination papers, and they gave me a certificate of pre-nomination, having verified that I have paid money, people who were nominated, and then told me to return on the day of nomination.
And you were duly.
It cannot be the same electoral commission that has subjected you to a pre-nomination process at that stage, at which they are supposed to, call, because these are just 10 people.
No, but also, Honorable Semuji, it is also possible, because this exercise, I think, was not compulsory. It is possible that some candidates did not go for pre-nomination verification. It is also
even if they didn't go, the electoral commission has a duty, because the credibility, the credibility,
that your nominees,
a particular candidate has nothing to do with the credibility.